So being in a band with my brothers, it's been interesting. We hate each other so much that we love each other, and we're the only people that we can tell each other to go, f off or anything, and it's great because then 5 minutes later we're fine, and we can get in fist fights and it's fine. And people around us think it's insane, but that's just how we manage to deal with each other. First time I saw Gretsch was the guitar player of the Animals, and he was playing, when I first saw the music video for House of the Rising Sun, and it was one of those things I saw at Tennessee Rose, and I was like, that's the coolest guitar, because I was so used to seeing Les Pauls and all different models and Tellys and stuff, and that was just the first time I ever saw it. And everyone always thinks when you hear Gretsch, you think of George Harrison or any of the Beatles, and yeah, but the Animals was the first time I really fell in love with the Gretsch. My heroes in the guitar world, I've always grew up enjoying the Small Faces, and like Steve Marriott, just his attack on how he played a guitar was amazing. And watching, obviously the Stones, a huge impact, but I really loved what Ron Wood did with the Faces, prior to that, and obviously what he brought to the Stones. But I really enjoy, it's weird, I grew up enjoying Oasis and Blur and stuff, so that very just easy singer-songwriter guitar playing has been kind of my thing. I've never really been into the whole idea of shredding. It's about playing melodic things, but especially being in a band. I'm a guitar player for a band, I'm not a guitar player that's in a band, and there's a different world that you have to just enjoy creating music with the people you're surrounding yourself with. And that's what I loved with guitar players like Johnny Thunders. There's emotion behind it, or the guys in the Libertines. It's never correct, it never sounds like a studio guitar player, but it just has this attitude that a lot of people really can't get from, without a couple other people in your band. So what I look for with the guitars, and mostly is just reliability. I think the reality was that I was getting to, on the road, if it can't last, there's no point in having it anymore. And surprisingly enough, how delicate and beautiful the Gretsch guitars look, they stay in tune, they stay up to speed with what I need, and I beat the shit out of them. I've done 650 gigs since 2015, and they just have gone around the world with me, and it's hard not to have them. I think it's incredibly versatile. For what we're doing, I'm able to get a great, I play heavy gauges, so I play 13s on all my guitars, and so when I'm hitting them, it's just, you kind of get this resonation from the bodies, since I'm playing Hollies, and it just kind of has allowed me to really create a tone out of anything I'm going for. If it's super heavy, you can make it sound heavy. If you want it to be super delicate, you can make it, the Pixies kind of tone, and you can make it in the sloppiness of a Johnny Thunders kind of tone. So the modifications for me, I've always been, if I like it the way it is out of the box, I usually keep it that way. I think the only thing I have kind of changed a little bit is just putting, I've snapped 3 of the necks, unfortunately. Not by forcefully doing it. When you first start a club band and play in the Viper Room, all the techs and roadies don't like you, so they throw your shit towards you, and they're like, catch your guitar, and then I've shattered them. So I've rebuilt the necks now, so it's kind of been to what my likings are, and it's crazy because when you think of a Telly, for instance, you can remove the neck and put it right onto the body. And being able to have a Gretsch and just, that is the guitar, you can't change out a neck, you can't change out the headstocks. It's that's what you got to work with. So it's I found a love for it, and whenever now I pick up a newer edition of a Tennessee Rose, it doesn't feel the same way as mine because it's been broken so many times. I believe Gretsch has been such a fashionable guitar ever since. It's an art piece to begin with, and I think that's what sets it apart. Every single time I pull out a Gretsch, everyone's very interested in what it is. And a lot of people, it's funny because it's been around for so long, and obviously if you enjoy classic music, you've been able to, or even you have Billy Duffy from The Cult and stuff, there's a lot of people that have been introducing Gretsch again into the world, but it's very difficult to find a guitar that looks like a statement piece. We're very fashion forward on even our stage. We have our Palaye Royale crazy Vegas sign since we grew up in Vegas, and it just, our stage show is just now evolving. We're putting chandeliers and clocks and all this crazy stuff. So when you have a statement piece, it's kind of, I've never thought to even go play with another guitar. I always go on reverb every single week, and like, what other lefty Gretsches are sitting there, and like always bid and always underbid it, because I just want to have as many as I can right now. Because it's like, I don't live anywhere, I don't have a car, I'm always on the road. It's like, I need to have my babies and I have my suits, and that's it. I think Gretsch has always continually made great quality guitars, and I think that's the biggest thing. They slapped pieces of wood together and said, here you go, play it, and rely on whatever your pickups or your amps or your pedals were. It was, you can plug that into a clean amp and it sounds beautiful, and you can put a little dirt and it sounds great.